Okay. All right, you guys. Hey, guys. Happy New Year. It's that week where we're all still like finding our lives and coming back from a crazy, crazy holiday season. I just want to say that this was a really interesting year to be a part of, 2017, being in the business for 6 years, going through what I call the stormy year, and just like watching all the things, knowing that I've been through a year like this before. When I first came in, it was like this, like, and some of you are new and you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but like, when you own a business, it's never always uphill. It's like very much a roller coaster, and there's obstacles and challenges. And it was I was doing a little obsessed yesterday, and she said something about struggle in the workout. And she said, if you're never struggling and you're never challenging yourself, you're never going to change yourself. And the minute like things got challenging and hard in 2017, it was interesting to watch just the complete shift and change. And just like, wow, like you just push through. Like you don't like, get distracted or give up on yourself. Like that's normal. It's very, very normal to have challenging times. Like it's actually a good thing. So all of that to say, like 2018, I know we are set up for such an amazing year. Like just looking at everything happening now, and they haven't even brought out the bars or the to be mindset yet, or whatever's coming at Summit that they're talking about. And like whatever's coming later in the year is going to just make your business even better. So now it's like, and I'm super excited about all the things we're doing within the team to streamline and make your life easier, better, smoother, having access to different systems and resources to where all you have to do is plug and connect people in that you're making, new connections with, and talk to them about becoming part of your team or becoming a challenger in your groups. It makes your life and your coaches' lives 10 million times easier. So while social media keeps trying to confuse us and challenge us, we are working really hard to make it easier. So Nancy, on the flip side of all of that, actually increased her income this year. And so I wanted to just ask her to share, so this means Nancy had a really good year, so that's incredible. I know we have a couple others who had some amazing years as well. So that was my cue that I was like, all is really well. And I'm so excited for what your 2018 is going to look like. But I wanted her to share what she did this year, what changes she made this year. I have a couple questions I wrote down that I'll ask you when you're done talking. Just because, and then for those of you on that are like really wanting to learn, really wanting to understand, better for yourself. I know for me, when I was getting on calls like this, I was always like, okay, I understand inviting, like I understand how to follow up. I really understand how to talk to people. But I don't understand. And then that's the question I wanted to know. And then I would work hard on like fixing that. And every year it's helped me really grow. Like this is probably the year of where I slowed down and created systems and resources to make it smooth for the team. And they're not like, am I running my own sneak peek or what am I doing? Like, sure, you can do that, but not everybody's ready for that type of thing. So we have things in place now for them at all times. So that was my year of growth on that level as a leader. But anyways, if you guys have questions like that, like the one thing that trips me up is meeting new people, like, or whatever it may be, this is the time to ask her, because she's signed a lot of coaches and she's had a lot of people getting weight loss. Like it's been a great year. So I am going to let her share. She wrote out notes and stuff about what she did, and then we can ask her questions and go from there. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. There you go. I'm going to mute myself.
Hey guys. Okay, I'm going to start kind of back at like last January. So I ended up closing last year. I had hit, it was my second year in the business, and I closed 2016, started 2017 with my 2-year anniversary as a coach. So this is my third year. I hit Success Club Legend 10, which set me up really, really well for 2017. So when I went to Summit this year, I was up on the stage and I had gotten my award for hitting Legend 10. So for those of you that are new and don't know what that is, that's Success Club 10 every single month since I started my business. I kind of made it my non-negotiable. And it was awesome. It was a great feeling to hit. Not really for the award part. I mean, like, that was awesome. Like, being up on stage, that's like everybody's dream as a coach. But knowing that I had helped so many people really was it for me. So then I had a lot of stuff go on in my own personal life. I have a little boy who has some health issues. He doesn't anymore. He's great now. But it started the year off with like tons of specialists, tons of possible surgeries. And I hit my first month ever of no Success Club points, like big fat 0. And I think it was like a wake up call to me, like, hey, whatever you're doing, you need to fix it. You have to stop like gliding on the wings of things and like really start planning out life with your business a little bit better. So just so you know, it's not always easy times. You really have to like focus, put your head down and say, I'm just going to do it. Life is always going to throw bad stuff at you. You're always going to have things that pop up in the way. You're always going to find an excuse if you want it, pretty much is what I'm saying. So you just have to say, like, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to work at it. So as you can see, I wrote down lots of notes because I have ADD and I start to go off on tangents. So the first thing that I did was I said to myself, I really need to focus on my own business before I could start helping my coaches grow, because I was starting to see some of my coaches fall off in their own fitness and health. I was starting to see some of my own coaches quit. So if you're at that point in your business, it's normal. You're going to see, I feel like that 2-year mark, or even every 2 years, to say if you've been a coach for a while. I've heard a lot of people say that you'll start to see like your people that you thought were going to be like these awesome rock stars kind of decline. So it's, to me, it said one of two things. I wasn't coaching my coaches on the fitness level and I was just pushing them business wise, or the job just wasn't for them. Like, and that's okay, because a lot of people join you because they're like your fans in the stand and they want to be with you and they want that personal time with you. And maybe then they realize like, hey, this is sometimes maybe more that I bit off than I can chew. So I feel like that 2-year mark is maybe that mark for a lot of people. And it was for me with my business. So that said to me, like, okay, you need to get yourself in check with your own business, get back into fitness, which I was always working on myself, but I felt like I started to teeter a little bit with my own challengers and I wasn't so focused on them. And I was like, okay, time to reloop, get everybody back in the mix. And I messaged every single one of my challengers. At that point, I think I was like coaching probably 300 people. And I work predominantly with ladies. Like, I know my tribe of people. I'm a special needs mom. I work with a lot of special needs moms. I work with a lot of NICU moms. I think that's a very big part of needing to know who you're talking to. Like, who is it that you're looking to find? And I really focused a lot on that this year, was really talking to who I was before. I was 400 pounds. I was 373 pounds when I started this journey. So I really had to stop talking to like the person that I am now and start talking to the person I was. However, here is the big change that I noticed. I had to talk to 2 different people, because the business people that I was looking for had a lot of the same things that I had going into the business. They had anxiety. They had weight they had to lose. I'm sorry. And for those of you that don't know, I'm 29 weeks pregnant. So I'm like always trying to catch a breath here. So the first person that I would always post my posts to, and that's challengers. And it's because it's what I really love doing. I love helping people change, just from what they want to be. Not what I want them to be, just what they want to be. So my first post would always be to that mom that I was 5 years ago. And if you look at my posts even today, I put up one today actually. they're always about that mom that's like tired of saying, give me a minute, I'm on the couch. You know, your kids are like, oh, I want lunch now. You're like, give me a second, you know, or you're upstairs and you know, you got to bring all your laundry up and you're like, oh, let me pile it all up on top of myself and go up the steps, you know. And I was tired of being that mom. I was tired of being tired all the time. So when I do create posts and I'm looking for challengers to help, that's who I'm talking to, that mom that knows that feeling of like overwhelmed and that feeling of being tired all the time and not being able to do everything that they want to do with their kids. So I feel like that helped me create more of a challenger base and help more people. This year, by far, I have had the most amount of big weight losses with my team than ever before. People are dropping 80 pounds, 40 pounds, 60 pounds, because I've really thrown myself into what I wanted to be 3 years ago. And I've really put that work into people. I message them all the time. You know, what's going on? I'm working with a lot of ladies with PCOS right now, because I'm pregnant. And a lot of ladies are like, hey, I have PCOS. Like, I really want to get pregnant. I'm not getting my period every month. I know it's because of my weight. I know it's because of this that I need help. So being pregnant also, I think, has changed a few things. Not that I'm telling you I want to get pregnant. I'm not. I'm not, because this was a surprise baby. But I think when you change up different things in your own life, it's when your business starts to grow more and when you share it. So I shared everything. For those of you who haven't watched my social media, like my pregnancy posts started with Chip Shop. I came home from New Orleans. I had no idea I was pregnant. And I was like, we're going all in. We're ready for Chip Shop. Are you ready? Me and my husband did it. I had a post before New Orleans. We were doing this together. We had kind of fallen off the boat of date night a lot. Our kids were constantly getting sick. And we had just said, you know what? Our Friday night date night is going to be like workouts. We're going to do like workouts together. And it became like every night of the week. In the interim, I got pregnant. So like we did a really funny, we used our, I don't know if they're in here. We used our things from Shift Shop, and that was how we did our pregnancy announcement. You know, he tapped the wrong marker. You know, like we made our lives like really, we're a normal couple. We have 3 kids and another one on the way. Like we don't live this life of like craziness, but we just made it funny. And people started following us. We had couples that were following us. My girlfriends from New York were like, okay, we're coming to work out with you guys, because we didn't really have couple dates anymore because we weren't in New York. So we just made it fun. Like, just make your life fun and share. Like, I can't even say share your life with everyone. Like, I'm no different than anyone else, but I love social media. I feel like when I don't tell people things, I'm lying to them. Like, it was so hard not to tell people I was pregnant for like 14 weeks. When I finally went live and told everyone, they were like, we were wondering where you've been. You haven't been going live. I'm like, I couldn't go live because I was going to tell you all. Like, I couldn't even say it. Like, some of you guys knew, but I couldn't tell everybody yet because we had such bad luck with past pregnancies. And finally, when I told everybody, I was like, oh, relief, because I'm so used to sharing so much of my life on social media. So I can't stress enough, go live. Like, go live for everything. Like, not everything. Share things that you're going through, and share things like a leader. Because for a long time, I didn't. I shared things in the very beginning of my life. I suffered with anxiety and depression and postpartum with my boys. And a lot of times it came off like victim almost. Like I was trying to work through it. And I think maybe sometimes I shared too much. And while I think it helped some people, I feel like it scared some people away. So I will tell you, also be careful of what you share. But when you share things, like, be excited that you're sharing them. You know, like, show up all the time like you are a rock star. Like my stuff is, you know, people are like, you always make your go lives look so easy. I'm like, do you see me? I'm in the bathroom wiping heinies right now. Like, that's my life. Like, it's not anything crazy. but I take people with me, sometimes they come into the bathroom with me. I'm not even going to lie. Like sometimes they go live, I put it down. I'm like, give me a second. I'm wiping a butt. That's mom life. People want to see like real people. Social media is loaded with fake people right now.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Tell them how so let's talk. So you guys know she goes live. She's sharing pretty much her whole life. Not to say that you have to share your whole entire life, but she's basically putting on a reality show on Facebook and letting them in on the show so they get to know, like they know her kids' names. They know what's going on. They know where she's at in whatever the situation is, whether it's a meal or a workout situation. Like it's like not that Nancy's a Kardashian, but it's like watching that every Sunday, and Courtney, Courtney's got a new boyfriend because they're talking about it, but they won't say who he is or whatever. You see, like she wants to keep it a little private, but really, because they're letting us in their house every Sunday if you watch them, or if you watch Housewives or heck, I mean, really anything that you're intrigued by a reality show, like they're letting you in to taking them around. Like I think of Juliana Rancic and what's the husband, Bill, who was the Trump thing, whatever that show was called. And like they got married and then they brought you into their world and you could see where they lived in Chicago and you could see what they were trying to do. Like you could see their life. So she's bringing them in literally. And if you're like, well, my life's really boring. I don't think so. I think there's stuff you can certainly share and talk about. And it's a matter of who is it that you want to talk to, right? You're not talking to everybody. It's who is she or her, or him. I don't think there's any guys on right now. And what is it that you want her to learn about you, right? Bring them into your world so they trust and know you, because those are the two things: know, like, and trust. Well, it's all three. Know, like, and trust. I am ready for you to mentor me in business or help me lose weight, right? There's two different services you offer. You help people get fit. Well, really, you don't have to do it. You just support them through it. You're just their cheerleader, right? Or you're mentoring them in business, and you don't have to be like, oh, I don't know how to do that, because resources are there now. Like we worked hard on that this year. So you can feel confident being like, all the resources are here as I'm still learning and we're learning together. So my question is, can you share with them how you've gone about making the new connections, what social media you're using to do that, and how you are doing it?
Of course. So I went into 2017 with I'm going to make as many friends as possible. So I had this thing that I created called girlfriend shopping, which I've shared on Elevation Nation a few times. And I've actually gone into groups that are like interest groups to me, things that I like to talk about. Like right now, being pregnant, I found this awesome pregnancy group that I wish I could scoop up all the ladies and make them all challengers and coaches, because that's how excited the group gets you. So that's what you need to look for. Like you need to find yourself a group that you go in there and you're like, I love this group. You could be in there all day talking to the ladies. So I went in and found this group. But I belong to so many others within my own community, NICU groups, IGR groups, and I would create natural friendships. Like I'm not going in there being spammy, like, hey, look at this cute dress, come and emoji me, which one should I wear tonight? I never do those posts ever. You'll never see them on my page. You'll never see them from me in a group. I just feel like they're so salesy and like yuck. And I'm from a sales family. My husband is in the car industry. So that's the first thing I always say to myself. I limit myself, Lindsay. So Lindsay asked how I don't spend all day talking to people. I'm a mom. I want to go spend time with my kids. I put a time limit. I actually set my phone on a timer, and that's when I work. And that's it. And then I shut down. Because for a while, I did work all the time.
I was going to say, me too. I don't spend all day talking. I spend the hours that I'm in talking. And then, yeah, I shut it down.
And it's funny because I just said to Lindsay the other night, for the first time ever, we both belong to a twin mom of boys group. And it's like 10,000 members. And I've never seen Lindsay in there before, ever. And all of a sudden I commented on something and her post was right above mine. And I'm like, oh my God, 3 years, we finally found each other. Because she used to say all the time, I don't know how I didn't find you. And so that's what I do as far as that. There's even like, sometimes I belong to groups that like people add me to. I know you guys all have them, other social marketing groups where people are like, oh, let me add every person on my friends list. And like, I'll go in and start a conversation. I'll be honest with you, LuLaRoe is a big one because every person in the world adds me to LuLaRoe groups. And sometimes I go in there and I'll post, like I do wear Irmas every once in a while. This is a pregnancy top, but, and I'll like post like, you know, my girlfriends will run a group and they're like, post your picture that you're posting. And people will be like, oh my God, you're so cute. You look so pretty. You know, you're so pregnant. Well, guess what? I just became friends with like all those people. And I don't sell anyone. Like I just become natural friends with them. And then I share my life on Facebook. I share it on Facebook. I share it on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. And I'm on my like page, which really just this year blew up. My like page is pretty much a mirror of my personal page. I kind of bring my posts over to all 3 platforms. So it doesn't take a lot of time. I'm a copy and paste, put the same picture up kind of gal, because you're talking to 3 different types of people on social media. So you don't need to do so much. Once in a while, it'll have less family on my like page, or I'll add more recipes. I also, that's the other thing. I'm a very big foodie. I love to cook and I share my recipes with everyone. I created a cookbook this year. I did a lot of creating stuff. I created a cookbook this year. I created a recipe book with all Shakeology recipes for Christmas. And I gave those out to my team. Like I wasn't like, my cookbook is just coming out like that. I've been holding on to till January, but, I had like a Thanksgiving cookbook that I created and I circulated it to everyone because so many times people on my page would be like, can I have that recipe? Sure. And I just sent it to them. I sent off the whole book. It was a PDF format. And that was super, super helpful too, to also circulate and get your name around. And people are like, oh, who's this girl? And then they start following you. So those are just some little things that I did to really grow my business. My like page, what I did was I don't invite friends to my page every day of the week. I do like Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then the days in between is when I'll do catch-ups or follow-ups. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I invite people to my like page. So that way I kind of have a handle on it. So if I invited on Monday, those people that did accept my friend request, on like Thursday, I'll invite them over to my like page. And they kind of follow me on both platforms. So that, especially with the algorithms right now, they were insane. There was a while where like I felt like nobody was watching my stuff.
You know, Cody just went live in our team page while we're all on here, and he's sharing tips on that right now. So you guys can go back and watch his live when you're done, when you have time. He's sharing like tips on how to get around. So Facebook doesn't want you selling anymore. I know 2 coaches who lost their accounts 100% because they kept posting call to actions, because that's what we were taught to do. And that's what we would do. And you can still be very smart about it. Like, it's not like you can't, but if you're, sorry, I'm getting over something over here. But if that's all you're doing and you're super annoying to people, like, they're totally going to report you and you're going to get shut down. So anyways, Cody just went live right now to share, while we're on here, which is kind of funny, some tips on that. So what Nancy was, we all were like, what the heck is going on? Nobody's seeing our stuff. We're writing really good stuff. Like, what is going on? And so he has tips on that. I know it always comes back to create a community in a group, because you can sell in there. You can sell in group, like just like the LuLaRoe guys are doing, you know. Anyways, so you'll get some tips on that, because that's very fresh and new. Like, that just came out like a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, and go listen to him. That's why I was just going to touch on something else that I do as my personal development. We all just, well, me, Jen, Lindsay, we all just finished with Cody for another session of his training, and I have to tell you, it was amazing. I always feel like I'm a pretty good writer. As far as my posts and telling my story, Sometimes I feel like I'm a better writer than even go live because I have ADD and I can like edit a million times on my posts where I can't with go lives. So I feel like he just helped me kind of focus in more. And Tiffany was in there too. He just helps me focus in more. He helped me focus in more on my story. And if you look at my posts from now to then, I feel like they are so much better, like so much better. And then it's funny because his 6 weeks, his program, and he did a 7th bonus for us. And the 7th bonus, not many people showed up. And I was like, all right, I need some help here. It's not about what you're talking about. It's not goal setting. I'm like, but what's going on Facebook? Because my copies are, and for people who don't know, copies are like really, I'm a long poster. If you ever post on my wall, you will see like, it's like a storybook when I put up a post. And that's why he worked really well with me, because that's how he writes. And it's funny because for so long, like I'll say to my husband, I'm like, can you go on and just look and see, like, do you like my post? Every night I say the same thing to him. I'm like, was it a good post? And he's like, I look at the picture. He's like, my husband is like a 2-word blurb man. Like he doesn't want to see anything more than like 2 sentences. And he's like, yeah, I'm not reading all that. And I finally, like after taking Cody's class, he's like, he's not your people. He's not the person that you even care whether they read your post or not. Post what you're going to post. That's how you write. Those are the people that will follow you. So I never stopped. In fact, they might have gotten a little bit longer. But he was talking to me about like the algorithms and all that kind of fun stuff on that call. And I just kept doing it. And over the last, I think 3 or 4 days, there's a break in the algorithm somewhere because my likes and my posts are being shared. And there's like, I'm putting up, I don't know if it's just that my posts are better or if I'm finally finding like my people, because it's like, boom, 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 boom. I woke up this morning, one of my posts were like, I had like 12 shares and like 1,500 people were liking my posts. I'm like, woohoo, you know? So I feel like I'm like finding the right people now. So that's part of it too. But personal development, you need to put your time into your personal development. You need to, like, so many times I'm like, oh, I can't read another book. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So this year I decided that I finally decided I was going to put some money and some time into things. And I finally bought audiobook. Finally, like Lindsay would send me the free book and I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying $14.99 for that. I'll get the book on Amazon. But I was just tired of reading books, which is great. I mean, I don't know if you could see, like, lots of books have been read. So I needed a break. So what I decided I was going to do was I was going to tune into other coaches, which is another super helpful tool. So I go on to Beachbody Champions, and every single week I watch at least 3 videos. And you can save them right from your phone. Just hit save video. You don't have to go and watch them right that second. So if I hop on my elliptical, I put it in. If I'm walking with the kids somewhere, I put it in. So I do Beachbody Champions a lot. I do YouTube video. I really hop into the whole personal development. And this year I promised myself, I actually just bought like 3 new books that I'm going to get back into reading my books again. But I think the real thing is finding personal development that you actually need. Like so many times people will be like, you need to get this book. It's so good. But it wasn't really what I needed. So I would read it and go through like 2 pages and be like, I'm done with this. So I've been like just searching for like where I'm struggling in my own life, finding personal development in that. And that even meant like, I went back to reading You're a Badass again, because it's the new year. Everyone needs to be badass. You know, like I read it like 4 times, but whatever, I need to read it again. And then I just started this, which is Loving What Is. And it's not so much business related. It's more kind of like personal life. I was going through some stuff like a month ago, and I really just needed to like say to myself, I don't really need to worry about what other people are doing and what other people are saying. Like ultimately, I am not a victim. It is really me who holds the keys to my own life. And that was this book. Actually, Cody, I think, had said this was a really good book. I think that's why I grabbed it. And me and him, like, I feel like we have a lot of the same things going on in our lives with being special needs parents. So I feel like that's why he also spoke to me a lot. So through your personal development, should I talk about the business stuff side now, like with the coaches?
Yeah, I think for personal development, I think it's important. Like, I know it, if you're new and you're like, I don't need that, I'm fine. It's important to understand that it's not that you're not fine. It's that in an entrepreneurial life, in a business ownership life, like you get the chance to like own your life and decide how you want every area to go. And that's what's really cool about Beachbody. And that's why I think you see people screaming it from the rooftops that are in coaches, is because they know, like, number one, I got my health under control. Number two, I feel amazing. Number three, I've got my mind under control now. And I'm able to help other people get their life under control. We've got this hurting world. And I don't know if I'm allowed to share percentages of obesity right now because it came through the test group that I'm in, but I don't even remember them off the top of my head, but it's high. And it's so high that our country thinks that some of these levels of bodies that we see is normal. And it's not normal. So, like, you've got this hurting country and Canada and people and, like, in the kids' obesity rates, like, you got all this going on. And so by working on yourself first and saying, hey, come along on the ride with me, doing that on a mental level helps, because some of them are going to come along for the ride and be like, holy geez, you're a little too much. But you're going to be like growing yourself and owning your life. And that's what's so cool about personal development. Like, Cody basically is the current talk right now. Like, if you were to talk to us last year, we were talking about a guy named Josh who was helping, but Josh was more, do the work, go, 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 go. And here's why you want to break through fears, which is true. You do want to break through fears and limiting beliefs and all that stuff. But Cody was more, here's permission for you to do it your way, how you want, and your voice, and be okay if, like, some people decide they don't like you. That's okay. Like, he gives you that permission. As you can see, he's got language, he's got tattoos, and he's a former pastor. He's somebody that not everybody likes. Like, you either love the guy and he really helps, or you hate him. And you're like, I've had some say he is not my cup of tea. Like, I don't, and it's like too bad because he really does teach this specific skill really well. But that's just something that in your growth, you grow that confidence and that level of, so what? So what if they don't want to be a part of my team? So what if they want to go over here? So what if they quit? Like, you have the thick skin now, and you feel confident in yourself and your abilities. And the one thing that was told to me, thank God, when I was a baby coach, the one thing that was told to me, I went to a seminar, kind of like, it was a speaker named Danny Johnson. She's still out there. I haven't been to her events in a while, but I got sent there. It's so funny how these things happen to me. They're like sort of by accident. Literally, and Hal ended up going because it was a buy a spouse ticket for like $90 or something. So it was just, and he was like, what? I'm not going to this. And we go and we get immersed for like 3 days into this lady who's built these businesses before. And she's a pastor, and she's got a crazy, crazy story. Like, was homeless, just the whole thing. And the one thing she said that stood out to me was, work harder on yourself than you do anything else, and you'll be unusually successful. And I was like, what does that, like, what do you mean? What does that mean? What does that look like? And I really wanted to understand, like, work hard on my body, work hard on my brain, work hard on what? And it was all the areas. And what aligns, and that's what she loves about Beachbody coaches, is we align with all that. Like, I don't know that other companies tell you to do these. I don't know. But anyways, that's my little spiel on, really, if you're fighting audio, if you're fighting books, or if you're fighting maybe joining Cody's group that starts next week. Like, maybe say, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I'm going to try. Because what if that's the one thing that changes for you? Because it's certainly what grew me, for those who've been with me since day one, or like, I was so not the girl I am today. It gives you more patience. You're a better mom, better wife, better friend, better coach. Like, it's just a great thing that I can't stress enough for you guys. So now we can go on to business.
And just again with the personal development, like it helped me a lot. I did a Rachel Luna call with her this year. Like I did a lot of things that totally stretched me out of my own comfort zone that helped me grow as a coach so I could help my team. So you have to always remember that, like, you need to be ahead of your team. Like you need to be working on yourself so that you can help your team work on themselves. And I think that was also a big turning point for me this year too. We had a lot of changes go on, which I think also helped me to say like, hey, your team is starting to know more than you are. You better go step up your shit. Like the back office, we had the back office change. People were messaging me and they're like, how do I even see my volume? And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not a laptop worker. I'm a phone worker. I work from my phone. And if you've ever tried to access the back office from your phone, it's a nightmare. It's actually getting better. It is better now. But and then I started signing coaches and I'm like, how do I sign these coaches and tell them to go and do training? I don't even know where the hell the training is. So I'm like, okay, I spent like 2 days. I'm like, you are going to master this thing. And instead of going into your laptop, like all of us do, and click on the old version of the business office, because that's what we all know. I went in, I was like, don't you dare press that button. Go do the training. Well, what I found out was they changed a lot of stuff back there. There's new trainings back there. They added a lot of stuff. And hello, you're all coaches. We all need to do product training like over and over again. I went in and redid all the product training. I went in and acted like a coach, crazy enough. And I just retrained myself with all of the new training so that when coaches would sign up, they weren't like, oh, that picture of the challenge pack that you just sent me, it's not there anymore. Like, it's not the same picture, you know, so I could actually send them the correct things, you know. So I think the training part is super, like, if you haven't done that, go and do it, because you'll only help yourself and your business grow more. So business-wise, Lindsay actually helped me a lot with getting some stuff together with my coaches, because I felt like I was working with all different kinds of groups of coaches. And one thing that stuck out to me a lot when we went to Summit was love your people where they are. And it kind of I still feel that way. I have a lot of discount coaches and I have a lot of working coaches. I kind of was very lucky in that aspect. So what I did was I took a lot of my coaches that I knew wanted to work on themselves first. If they were new coaches, they wanted to work on themselves. They wanted to work on their fitness, and then grow a business. My coaches that were already growing a business, I put everybody in one pod. So like in one group chat, and we all work together. I also have a team page. So all of my coaches that are in my downline, we're all connected there, and we're all plugged into Elevation Nation. I stopped so much. We used to do Monday night calls as a team, and I felt like we weren't really getting much out of them. So what we did was we started doing mentor calls. So all of my working coaches, I decided I was trying to figure out how I was going to separate, like who was working versus who wasn't. And I said, if you hand in your business activity tracker every either Wednesday night or Thursday morning, you'll get the link for the mentorship call. And you need to be active. Like you have to put some skin in the game. If you want to be an active coach and you want to work and you want to push forward, but you need to do those things. It's not asking a lot of anybody. So those were my requirements. And Lindsay hops on, we were doing mentor calls with my team on Wednesdays. So if you were an active coach and you did your business activity tracker and turned them into either the pod or me, you got the link to go onto the call and you would get a mentorship call every week. And it has helped so much. And we talk about goals, and that was my thing for this week. I had said to my team, I need goals from people. Like, I want to know what people want. Like, where do you want your business to be for 2018? Do you want to grow your business? Because sometimes people are like, I'm all in, but then they don't do anything. Or they're like, I'm going to just keep restarting, you know, and, you know, like, I'm just going to keep restarting. Let me just restart a program, or I need to focus on me. And I'm like, that's what
can we tell them how many 500 Club coaches you have now because of those meetings and stuff?
So I have 3 500 volume coaches up on the boards right now. One is a married couple. I have somebody else she's just there. She's just there, and she's a brand new coach. Nicole is on. Nicole just hit a top volume today. I didn't post it yet. Sorry, girlfriend. Her volume is picking up. So, it's working. Those things, sometimes telling people what you expect from them works. Letting them lead into like this atmosphere of they don't know what they're getting into. You need to tell them, like, if you want this business, I have coaches that are like, I want to make $2,000 a month. That's $500 a week. You need to do those things that are going to get you $500 a week. Showing up when you want to isn't going to get you $500 a week. So if you have big goals, you have to be willing to do big things. And I've just gotten this year to the point where I'm not afraid to tell people. And for so long, I think I was afraid to say, like, this is what I need from you if this is what you want, because I was afraid they were going to quit. As crazy as that sounds, like, you start to run your own business with fear, but you're not helping anybody do that. You have to be able to say, like, if this is what you want, this is what you need to do. And you have to be able to remind them of that. So I said to them on Wednesday in the chat, we didn't do a call this week because Cody was on doing the family planning. That sounds like everybody's trying to get pregnant. We're doing the family clean your plate group up. Today we had this call. So I said, take this week. I'm hopping on with my team tomorrow on Friday. And I said, make goals for yourselves. Create goals. Create a happiness goal. Where do you want your family to be like? Do you want date night every night? Like, it doesn't need to be all about business. Sometimes you need to create that life for yourself. So I said, create a happiness goal. Create a fitness goal. You always have to have a fitness goal. We're all fitness coaches here. Create a financial goal and a business goal for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. And then I can help you reverse engineer. And that's what we were doing with Lindsay too. We were kind of like breaking it back down. And I think for my coaches, I wrote it down because my coaches were like, that's so good. You need to share it. When I shared it, I was talking about goals and hitting financial goals. And, it's always great to have a financial goal to say, like, I want to put $10,000 away this year. But being able to reverse engineer that to something that's actually attainable is huge. You have to be able to do that for your coaches, because you're going to have a coach that's going to say, well, I need to make $10,000 this year because I want to walk away from my job. Well, you need to tell them, like, this is how much you want to make a month. This is how much you want to make a week. This is how much you need to make a day to make that weekly goal. So they know what they're working for. Like, I know, like, $27 a day doesn't seem like a lot of money, but at the end of that month, at the end of that year, that's $10,000 you've put in your bank if you're saving that. So you have to be able to re-engineer those things. When I was doing my weight loss, I lost 176 pounds. I never said, like, I'm going to lose 200 pounds. I just said, I'm just going to work this week and I'm going to try and lose like 3 pounds. So I was always setting those small little goals for myself anyway. So just be able to reverse engineer and know what your coaches want so you can help them. That I think in itself has helped a lot.
Yeah, I personally have a lifestyle that a lot of people that join me want, and I'm 6, almost 7 years into this lifestyle, and everyone comes to me like wanting it now, or they're gone, which is something that I personally struggle with. And it's like, gosh, I've been doing this for years though. Like, I didn't just wake up and 2 months later I was a 6-figure earning coach. Like, no, I wasn't. I think I maybe earned $200 in the second month, like it wasn't like that. And so one of the things that I learned this year as a leader was I needed to slow it down, because I was over here like climbing this mountain thing. And I'm like, come on, let's go, get up here with me. Like, come on. But like, what I figured out was if I slow it down, or if I, do my thing, and then I come over here and like, hey, let's walk up together. That's what's so cool about these calls that we've done is and what helps about the calls and they have rules to get on these calls with us. They can't just get on. We were letting them on in the beginning, and then I was like, okay, no, let's shift some things. Like, there was too much, and some weren't showing up, and she was getting a little flustered, and I was like, And then she came up with the tracker idea. Like, that was her idea. And I was like, well, that's a really smart idea. Like, you need to do X. And then we'd say, next time we see you guys, we want to see X, Y, and Z done. And we'd figure out, like, what is it you're challenged with, like, right now? Like, what is it you're truly struggling with? And they'd tell us. And we would be like, okay, here's how we fix, or here's what needs to shift. And guess what? We come back the next week and they'd be like, guess what happened? And it was the coolest thing. So we're starting our calls with them again next week, because it works. And I think that was something that really helped her as a leader to be like, okay, you can't come on because of X. Like, she had to really set expectations. And I think that we all want, and that again would go back to Cody, because he really gives you that permission to try to be okay with, hey, you're not meeting the expectation. So sorry, you can't be a part of this right now, but next week is another chance, like, and I think it's important to understand as a coach, like, you're like mom, if you will, to your kids, where you're like, no, you can't touch that fire. You're going to burn yourself. It's like the same idea as helping your guys get fit. Like, no, you cannot eat the cake this week. Like, this is not the week to eat the cake. Okay. Like, you had the cake last week. No, like, and we had to talk to, I don't know if Rebecca's on right now, but she was one who struggled with that. Like, she was just letting her challengers just do what they wanted. She wasn't coaching them. She was letting them eat what they wanted. And because she didn't want to hurt their feelings. We were like, that's not what a coach does though. They came to you wanting results. So anyways, those are just some really cool things that we saw like emerge and happen this year. And I hope that encourages and empowers you guys to feel good about being that coach to your people and to yourself. And if you're like, I need someone to be that to me, then you just like, you can come to me and or Nancy if she's your coach, if I'm your coach, and be like, hey, I need you to be that person for me. Because the goal is to meet people where they're at. It's not to be like, let's climb the mountain and get to this 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes like 2 pounds at a time, like she said, or 3 pounds, or $2 at a time, $20 at a time. Like, it's one customer at a time. You know what I mean? Like, but it will happen if you're in it for the long haul.
And you need to do the things too. That's the other thing. You cannot expect your coaches to do things that you're not willing to do. Like my business activity tracker, I know my coaches hate when I say it. Every week I say the same thing. They hate it. Like Nicole's smiling right now because she knows. Like this, no joke. Like this is my tracker. It's a new week. It's up already. I have, this is a binder of 3 years of tracking people. I'm a paper and pen person. I know some of you guys are like teamsy people, but I'm not. You can't track what you can't measure. You can't. Like if you don't keep your records, like I had posted something with my team. Facebook did a thing where, and I actually sent it to Lindsay too. At the end of the year, it showed you like how many new friends you made, and I had posted it in my group, and I had like 1,450 new friends this year, and I had posted it in my pod, and they were like, "How did you figure out like how many things you did?" And I'm like, "Well, I sent 50 new friend requests like every other day." So now multiply that times 365. I'm like, so I was trying to just show them the numbers of like how big you need to play if you want to be a big leader. And I was like, I think it was like, oh my God, what was it? I'll tell you in a second.
It was like 1,000.
Yeah, like I was sending 150 friend requests a week. So what is that? Like 150 times.
And another thing she does that, sorry, I'm going to overpower you for a minute. The other thing she does that was like really cool that I had heard, it was funny because I go on so I have Cody, and then I have some corporate people that keep me in check, right? So I have some people that are my coaches that keep me moving forward, right? That help me grow. And I was on this call, and they interviewed one of the top 10 coaches and what she does and how she does it and blah, blah, blah. And one of the things she said was at the first of the month, all invites go out. And I was like, and then Nancy was like, all invites go out at the first of the month. And I was like, that's the second time I've heard that. So I've never heard of like, instead of doing a couple a day, like she like bursts like in the first of the month and then just follow-ups for the rest of the month. So, I mean, I was like, wow, I've never heard of that. Like, that's different. That's very different. So it's something to think about when you're doing the things.
Yeah, I figured it out. I think I sent like almost 8,000 friend requests last year, and I had 1,450 returned. Like, so that's what you have to think about. Like, you have to think about the numbers that you're sending, because the girls were like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, "Hit the edit button on somebody else's," and they were like, "I only got 200." I'm like, "But how many did you send out?" And they were like, "I don't know. How do I find that out?" I'm like, "You need to track." Like, that's why I say do your business activity tracker. Like there's nothing tracking it for you if you're not. So you also have to be willing to do those things before you expect anyone else to do them. You can't expect somebody to lose these big numbers. And this just goes from challenger to being a coach. You can't expect somebody to go in and lose all this weight if you're not even doing a program, if you're not 100% yourself, if you're half-assing it. Guess what? They're going to half-ass it even more because they are following you. So if you're doing 80-day obsession and because I had this talk too with people, do I really need recover? Do you want your people to get recover? Like, I don't, you tell me, like, where are you at in your business? Like, do you want your people to be 100% on 80-day obsession, but you're not willing to be 100%? I'm 29 weeks pregnant. I'm doing clean week with my team. Am I modifying it? I am. And I tell everybody that all the time. I can't lay on my back right now. I got a huge ass baby on me, but I have a plan. I probably going to have a C-section. I'm going to go get my nutrition certification. I was talking to Cody about it yesterday while I'm recovering from my C-section. So like, I've made this plan for myself for 2018, not to let things fall to the wayside. So, you have to be willing to grow yourself if you want other people to grow with you.
And oh, how I wish I could tell you about this nutrition program coming out. It's going to freaking change the game, y'all. I'm so annoyed to have to keep my mouth shut. I'm like, when can we talk? Every day I'm like, can we talk yet? Can we talk? Hello, can we talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? I'm like, please, for the love of God, when the 15th launches, the 80 days out, can we please freaking talk? Like, I've never had to be so quiet, and I've never been more excited about something coming out, you guys, on a nutrition level. It's just going to just, and seeing the volume growth right now, I'm like, OMG, I can only imagine what this launch is going to look like. I just can't wait. So that is super exciting for Nancy too, because she was saying, like, I'm not gonna be able to do 80-day for a while. I'm like, well, by the time the baby's born and you're ready, we got something that you're gonna be able to do. That you're gonna blow the friggin', like, the launch is gonna be so good, and you're gonna be okay. You can do it. You get like, anyways, I'll shut up.
She's killing me. I just want to say she's killing me with this damn thing. Every time I talk to her,
I'm killing myself. Like, all I could say is the best thing you could do is just pay attention and watch as they start to drip, like just Beachbody pages and things like that. Cause like, I've never had to keep something so secret in my life. It's so
and if there's something that you can't do,
it's like when you were like, I can't talk. Same friggin' thing. Anyways, okay.
I was so stressed out about 80-day obsession coming out because I was pregnant, and Autumn did a call and she was like, it is not for pregnant people. And I'm like, what? And then my team started messaging me, you can't do that because you're pregnant. I'm like, whatever. I'll figure out a way to modify it. I've been a coach for this long. I've done every workout program there is. I will figure it out. And I have been. And John was like, I'll step up. He's like, I did shift shop with you. I'll do, sometimes you got to tag in your spouse. It's just how this business is. And thank God John was on. He's like, I'm in. Just get me a mega pack. Make sure you bought me enough Energize, and I'm all in. And in the interim, I figured out how to do it along with everyone. And I said to my team, get into the test group. Like, what are you doing? You have an opportunity to be in a test group. Get in there.
Can you just see John with the loops? Like,
I can't wait to see him put them around his stomach and his legs or do the arm presses. Like, I can't wait.
I'm going to make Hale do it too, because how fun for social media. Side note, yes, Autumn did say even the pregnant people should get in her test group, because she is going to be sharing powerful stuff in that test group that will help your business. Even if you're not doing 80-day, like she can't, but she can watch. She can watch John do it. Autumn just did like a 5-minute.
Well, I can. I'm just modifying it.
Or whatever. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she can show, but like she said, even if you're not doing 80-day, you should still be in her test group, because all the questions you're going to be getting, all this stuff, and she's sharing. Apparently, she's going to be doing a whole lot more than just coaching you through 80 days. She's going to be sharing a lot of awesome content that you can take back to your challengers. That's what she said yesterday, and that clicked for me too, because I was like, oh, so everybody needs to really be in this, because this is an opportunity for you to really actually speak right now to people. And like where I'm at, where I'm like, can't say anything, you know, like later I'll be able to talk, but I just can't give that any energy right now because I can't talk about it. So, but we can talk about this. So,
and I have a lot of all access pass people. So I want to be able to support them regardless of where I'm at. And after this baby comes out, I've already said that's the program that I'm using to get my before and after from this baby. So I need to be plugged in there so that I can help people. And knowing your programs better than your challengers is part of being a coach. So
is there any questions, you guys? So there's not, I mean, this isn't like rocket science. There's nothing she did special. No. She just shifted some growth areas, invested in herself, which is what my original mentor, Danny, had told me, you know, work on yourself, work on your skills. If you guys look at your business like a college class and you don't stress about the money so much, and you just think of it like, okay, I'm in a class for college right now. I'm going to study. I'm going to understand what an invite looks like. I'm going to understand what does the middle of that conversation need to look like? What does a follow-up need to look like? What does my post need to look like? Like there's a reason I have Cody in my life, because I suck at the whole tell a story things, put yourself in the person's pain. Like I'm not good at that. I'm good at just being Lindsay, shining Lindsay, like, hey, here I am over here. Like I'm good at that. That's what I'm good at. And that works for me for a long time. And now it's like, it doesn't exactly, it still does, but I have to learn differently. And so that's why I brought him into my life. I was like, I need help. And he's wanting to help us all. And so things like that will help you navigate through social media as it keeps shifting and changing on us, which means we also brought in Instagram Guru, and that's starting up soon too. And that's specific to the team. So that'll be helpful for you guys to really say, okay, I'm in a college class. I'm not going to stress about money. I'm not going to, I have goals, but I'm not going to stress myself over it. I'm going to be in a college class. I'm going to be a lifetime, long-time learner, still learning, right? And what happens is your income will grow, because as long as you're taking the action of the steps that you're learning, you'll see it'll change. It'll grow, because that's what happened to her, is she just decided to take a little bit of a shift with that. So does anyone have any questions for her? No? Y'all are so quiet. I did see Cody notification come up that he's live sharing social media stuff. So that's in the team page. If you guys are like, what the heck's going on? Like Facebook does not want you to do GIFs or emojis anymore in posts and stuff. And they will knock you out of the news feed. And then you won't be seen at all, which is why I highly recommend you creating a community and a group and starting to bring people to it, because you can do anything in your group, which is kind of like what he does. That's what I did in the beginning with my business. It's duplicatable. Anyone can do that. A new coach can create a group and add people to it.
Lindsay just asked a question. He means like the posts that usually come out in January, like if you're looking to lose 5 to 10 pounds, put a green heart. If you're looking to lose 20 to 30, you can put, if you're writing a post, then you have like a happy face, not that.
Yeah, like all of the like.
Do you like A, B, C, or D? Or, like which meal would you not do?
Would you wear this shoe or this shoe?
The spammy ones.
Like that maybe you look at and you're like, okay, that's kind of genius, but at the same time, it's kind of like annoying. Like, not sure how I feel. Or the best is when you're in the feed and you see that like 4 people post the same thing and you're like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Like it makes your head kind of spin. That doesn't give you an edge. That doesn't help you stand out. What makes, and this is where you do need to read You Are a Badass or get in Cody's group, because it's where you can say, what does give me an edge? What does make me stand out? Like I have never read a parenting book in my life. I have twins in the NICU, infertility, never read a parenting book.
Me either.
We listen to rap music with the kids. I don't care. And I hid that for a while because I'm like, people probably think I'm a horrible mom. People probably think all these bad things about me. Like, I'm not a good mom. I've just felt like I sucked as a mom. Here I went through all this battle to have these kids, and now I suck as a mom because I'm just not that type that's going to be like, oh, so cute. Like, I'm like, and maybe it's because it's two boys at once. Like, I don't know why. But I finally came to terms with, after spending time with him, like, that is not me. It will never be me. And I'm okay with that. And I've started to be more open about being that girl. And it's so fun because I'm actually starting to see moms that are like, me too. Like, I get you. And I'm like, thank God. Like,
even a lot of your own coaches, we all said that too. Like, she's like, I'm not a cuddly mom. I'm like, I'm not either. I'm like, dude, you're fine. Get up.
I'm like, go sit over. This couch is huge. Get off of freaking me. Like, this
is my water. Go get your own.
I do. Yes, exactly. And he helped like me have that edge of I'm not the typical mom like you, but I will work my butt off for these boys. I will take them and create memories with them. I will do all the things for them. I'm just not going to be like, I even struggle reading them books at night. I'm just like, well, I just want to go to bed. Well, we need to read a book. I'm like, and they come to sleep in my bed. I'm like, get out. Like, just get out of my bed. And like, I felt bad about that. And I was like, oh, it must be a bad mom. This is so bad. And then they were like, no, that's normal. There's moms out there like you. Find them. I'm like, oh my God. So it gave me permission to confidently be that mom publicly, and people are okay with it. Like, and the moms who think that's craziness are just not for me. So I hope that kind of helps you guys to really think about, instead of just posting these gift things or that person posted this, so I'm going to post that, really being you and publicly being you and being okay with that and trusting that you're going to reach your people. And it's way more fun to have a team of your people. Me and Nance, like, we did damage while we were at Summit. Okay, like, we were like bouncing off the walls of whatever I don't even know where we were. Where were we?
And our husbands are friends. Like, we have a group chat where the four of us talk all the time. You know, like, it's that's what's nice. It's nice about having that relationship with somebody who's like you, because you have a real friendship, and the guys are friends.
Yeah. And the people that, it's funny that a lot of the tribe that I thought, well, I don't know that I ever thought, but they're the ones that are gone. And it's really interesting how that worked out. I was like, interesting. Like, interesting. You know, like, I don't know how else to put it, but it's just looking from the outside in. So when you guys really think about, like, I wanted so bad to share X, Y, and Z, freaking share it. Like, get out there and share and feel good about it. Like, and if you are struggling with all this, this is where you really should go in the focus group. If you relate, and like, go listen to him on the live page, and you're like, it's like $30 a week at the end of the day. Like, it's $197. It's cheaper than Josh was ever. No, I'm not knocking him, but I'm just saying it's cheaper than what his courses were, or his, like, let me hold you accountable. And then if you guys want to mentor, call, and do like what me and Nancy have been doing, I have open space to do that with you and or your team, and help you guys like grow those 500 club coaches and get that volume up there. And you know, it really helps you guys just bust through the simplest things that are just stopping you, and look at what happens. Like, income grows. It's really fun.
And I had a lot of coaches get their rank back. Like, I had Emerald coaches that fell off, and I had coaches who just weren't active and they became active again. And I have coaches that are coming back now. So don't think that that's like something that's not reachable, because it absolutely is. And I also had a lot of coaches leave, and I was okay with it. Like, that's the other part you have to also accept. You're going to have coaches that are going to go. Yeah. And doing all of this stuff made me feel like it wasn't me that was failing, because I felt like for a while it was like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And it wasn't me. It just wasn't the right people. And that's okay.
Yep. Okay, I don't see any questions, and I'm curious to see what he said about social media.
I know, me too. I need to see what the algorithms are.
Or whatever he did. All right, I hope this was helpful. And Jarrell also had a really successful year, so he's going to be sharing with you. He doesn't have a voice right now, though. He's sick. So he's going to
That's my brother from another mother over there.
A little more of our tribe on the other side. So he's going to be sharing what he did at some point, but we don't have that schedule yet because be sick. So
They're having a baby too. So just it's the pregnant people. And they found out when we were away on the trip.
That's right. Oh yes, and go to retreats.
Yeah, go to retreats and go make sure you're at Summit this year. Your business it will help your business a lot.
It will be so fun too. We will have lots of fun.
Indeed.
All right. Bye y'all. Thank you, Nancy.
Bye guys. Thanks for coming on.